There were places in my city I never got to explore. The old pages in a book that were tattered and torn. I try to pick the roses, then remember the thorns. I'ma die without knowing how I was born. This is for my sisters. I love y'all to death. You brought me so much joy and I brought you so much stress. Kai, Sharif, and Liz taught me how to forgive. And in my darkest moments showed me how to live. For my brothers, Patrick and Kyron. 4 Seasons was the illest track to rhyme on. P, you always been a shoulder to cry on. And K, you know I want you to fight on. To my aunties, nephews, and nieces, I miss all of y'all to pieces. If I was rich, I'd fly every weekend. No, I love you and miss you the deepest. To my mom, you know I haven't been easy, but I'm glad we spoke the other evening. And my wife got the text you sent her. She loves you and I'm glad you met her. To my friends back home, you're my backbone. I love your stories, can't wait till we back home. You got married, started a business, shit, me too. I wish I had more time to see you. To my city, I love the gifts you gave me. Like when my OGs at the park would save me. Biking everywhere seemed crazy, but I learned to love it more strangely. I can't recognize my city from the TV. I met my first blonde in high school. I can't imagine life without seeing me. Funny how it all changed since I moved. I wanna see it all back the way it was, but rose glass is exactly what nostalgia does. Things weren't as perfect as I thought it was. I had a lot of loss and a lot of love. I had a lot of pain and a lot of joy. I became a man when I was a little boy, making adult decisions as a youth. Common Square taught me a lot about the truth. Tell my auntie I'm coming back for some jerk chicken and more stories about my mom that I've been missing, and tales from the island that I've never been. I hope to go with Devin and Uncle Ken, and Brent can join and bring the boys. Family reunion in Jamaica will be a story. The close of one book and we start another. We got the rest of the world to discover. Yeah. In Sacramento and many places across the world, low-income communities have disproportionately experienced health, housing, and job insecurity during the pandemic. When the challenges of COVID-19 are compounded by the additional stressors that low-income communities face, then the solutions for COVID relief are often not enough to meet the need equitably. It is the responsibility of hip-hop artists to not only speak up for the marginalized, but to elevate the voices of those communities by sharing their platforms to create meaningful change. Telling people to hope and dream is not enough. But for me, being allowed to imagine a life of my choosing and then having the privilege to pursue that is something I don't take for granted. The challenges are hard enough, but I hope my story shows others that in spite of gentrification, absent parents, and traumatic loss, there is a future, a wonderland, if you will, that awaits them. Right now, we are standing in the middle of McClatchy Way, at the corner of McClatchy and 5th. That's what you see behind me. To my right, we've got the Mills, recent development on some infill. That was empty lot, old factories. And to my left, we got the neighborhood of CV Circle, which has been here for decades. And I think it's really symbolic of the changing Sacramento that we see. You know, we've got a community here that's been super tight-knit, folks who don't have a lot, but they give a lot of love and support to each other. And then we have this new community of Bay Area transplants, empty nesters from Davis, and people who are just brand new to the city who may be unaware of the politics and the racialized history and some of the systemic oppression that's been used to create communities that we see here. So how are students and families impacted by a changing Sacramento?
They're infected bad, because if Sacramento going to change, it's going to look at moving us out of here, moving the family out, and it's just not here. Low income is everywhere.
Our community leaders, they're trying to get rid of this place because they don't appreciate it. They just think it's a black eye in the in the community. People can look on it from the outside and tear it down, but from the inside, you know, it benefited so many people.
If these parents and the kids get moved out and they're in a whole new neighborhood, it's going to affect the parents, because these are parents that don't have vehicles. These are kids that don't have family that help them. The family is the school, the people at the school and what's in the community. So if they're trying to like move people around instead of just so they could demolish low income, it's going to be a big effect, because right now we're already having a problem with homeless.
This is like the hub for everybody in Sacramento. Regardless of what neighborhood you come from, once you come to CV Circle, you had an opportunity to see something different. Not, you know, shoot 'em up, bang, bang. That's maybe how you feel when you arrive here, but when you see people aren't about that, people are about their grind here, we're trying to get up out of here, not even get up out of here and leave forever, but get up out of here and come back and help out, man, it kind of changes the mentality of a whole lot of people.
So if they come and going through all the low income and telling people that, hey, we're going to put you in a better place when we know they're not, that's going to be a big effect when the family moves with the kids or even senior citizens. And then you're going to come down and just move people out because they want to make Sacramento look like the Mill and Broadway and all this that's going on. They're looking at the money. It's not about the money. What about the people? Who's going to be here for the people?
We have been drowning, put under by currents conceived in the backspace of gentrification, race relations, pastored us backwards, placed us in chains, strange fruit, don't grow on trees, but the scars are still there, pastored us backwards, placed us in chains, strange fruit don't grow on trees. We are broken, put under by currents conceived in the backspace of gentrification, our eyes glassed over, fascinated by fables, conversed in selfish whispers, secrets. They hunt us, skeletons, we have them. In the name of gentrification, segregations, race, relation. We are drowning, put under by currents conceived in the backspace of gentrification, put under by currents that we cannot see, pastored us backwards, placed us in chains. Strange fruit don't grow on trees, but the scars are still there. I am drowning.
I think the first thing to combat gentrification, not just here locally, but all over the world, is to recognize the voices of the people who live in these communities that are changing. We got to move away from that Christopher Columbus syndrome and start to think about the value that the people who are kind of native to these lands, the people who already existed in the community, we got to think about the value that they're bringing with just their being.
So how do we help people see Black and brown communities as assets, like as positive contributors?
So there's no question that the worth and the value is there. We have to see it within ourselves, and we have to invest in our own communities. We can't expect them to do that shit for us, bro. Someone has to step up and make it cool to wear local stuff. And some of the dopest stuff comes from here. And that's our fault in our communities, that we don't have the things that we have because we don't make that of importance. We need to make property of importance. We need to make knowledge of self and importance. We need to make knowledge of each other's cultures and have understanding. That's what needs to be an importance.
When I look at those communities, I don't see a disadvantage. I see our young people and their parents as extremely advantaged. And that's because they have to deal with scarcity. They have to deal with getting creative and innovative in a moment's notice. And sometimes it's for survival.
I think the youth, especially Black and brown youth, like they run into this consistent welcome mat of oppression, in the sense that they don't see them as assets, even if their job, let's say education, is to help uplift and cultivate and develop that asset. for me to understand the value of someone, the closer I am to them in proximity, and not just like physically standing next to them, but proximity to their experiences and seeing the value in what they experience, the ingenious that exists in the perseverance and creativity that comes out of that, I think elevates the possibilities of people seeing them as assets.
I never classify them as disadvantaged, ever. They're highly advantaged because of what these challenges, these added challenges, have the potential to develop in you if you don't look at them as something that deficits you.
Growing up as a kid, I had to pick my spots. Middle of 3 gangs, I had to pick a block. Watching mom on drugs, wishing this would stop. Sleeping on trains, hoping I don't miss my stop. There's a thin line between love and hate, cause you either at the table or on a dinner plate. No fathers, they wanted my sister to pick a race. It was all fun and games until the fist to face. Nowhere safe, 6 years old, bus stop on the corner. I never had dreams of moving to California. Pointing out the cars, wishing that was mine. Big Bird in my ear, helping me keep the time. Guru, Mr. Liv taught me about the struggle. My sister's kind Sharifa is who I looked up to. Patrick's rap in the hood, bring me out of trouble. Things changed when I got off the train at Ruggles. At 12, I was chubby and black, and I was cute. I was learning how to rap and learning how to hoop. My grandma wanted me to wear ties to school. Now I had stacks of library books that were overdue. It wasn't cool when you didn't have a block to rep. I didn't know the code, how to watch the trends. I just wanted to fit in, so I watched my friends. Couldn't figure where the hood stopped and I began. John stopped switching juices for the Heineken. I stopped wanting to lie and lie again. Bodies dropped and my friends I couldn't see anymore. So they started slapping stickers on backboards. I knew my way out cause my friends had instilled in me. But I had this blood like you wouldn't believe. The hood's never been a place I wanted to leave. But we don't get out alive or make it out free. Free. I used to surf the train and make up stories in my head about the place I want to go, using books that I've read. Try to escape being one of the affiliated, but I can't seem to shake the blue and red. My summer nights were filled with love and loss, like the time Trayshawna paid the coast. Hard to protect the innocence when it's lost, but I question if that was even there for us at all. Every character was plotting the arc to this story. Little did I know what was waiting there for me was the executioner, the judge and the jury. Never did it for the fame and the glory. Y'all are entertainment. My friends are passing legislation so you can wear your crown without discrimination. Spend summers wondering where the day went and how roses could grow from the pavement. Yeah. Things changed when I got off the train at Ruggles. Things changed when I got off the train at Ruggles.
If you could help kids see kind of what's out there, what's beyond the neighborhood, what would you want them to see and to know and understand about life that's outside the neighborhood?
Well, it was easy for me to do it with the kids here because of Malcolm, little Malcolm, of them being raised and telling their stories of how, you know, they were homeless first and how their mom and dad did it. And watching them, they didn't have nothing, you know, and so for us, it was easy for us to form that group to help our kids here because kids was like, you guys don't understand, you guys don't know, but once they seen that we were people that went to school, went to college or whatever and made it, but still here in the community, it was so much easy to show that to our kids.
Our kids, just because of poverty, they don't get to go down the block. They don't even know what the Sacramento, the Arts Museum, what it looks like. They can't even tell me about Old Sac. And it's because we're stuck in this environment. If we can get our people to see more than just this, then you can dream. But if this is all you have, then this is what you see, this is what you dream about. But if the kids, once they get exposed to different stuff, especially our kids, since they come from lives that are faced with so many obstacles, once they get a chance to break free of those chains, man, those kids just grow.
What's on your block is not a limitation to who you are and what you have the potential to become. There's such a big world and so many possibilities outside of the block. I would want them to see that, to know that this is not your end, this is your beginning, and there's always someplace higher to go.
I was suspended in 7th grade. The road ain't always paved in gold. I couldn't save my soul. Adrenaline like a tidal wave. Might have thrown it all away. Carrie begged me to stay. Your mama ain't coming home. Don't pick up the phone. You got to set her straight. But I'm 15, just begun to dream. Life ain't. It ain't what you prefer. Is this the meaning of a dream deferred? Is this what we mean to hurt? My grandma was sick, went to court, no resource to judge for this. Of course, I was trapped in the middle of Central. Ran Gillette, should have made me mental. I paid enough, what as hell I went through. So I forced their hands and forced the issue. Every summer was wild. No less of a man than a fatherless child. My mother always had me on trial. Thank the Lord, my rap sheet was clean. My brother shared the backseat with me. Shout out Ralph, that rap beat was clean. I know I can't drop the month later. I'm stumped, thinking I could be much greater if I want. Summer before was when I got jumped. Area 4 for pump, dribbling dunk. I was born back then, bro. But I was dumb, could've had a gun. Chose not to run. 2 older niggas beating down on one. Just to start, kept me from jail. Gave Ace 300 for bail. He wanted me to tip the scale and live to tell the tale. Cause I'm close to, I'm trying, lose my head. We were stupid kids looking for a Tanya, selling mad, selling marijuana. We were stupid kids escaping life through this music. We were stupid kids. We were stupid kids escaping life through this music. Hard times and sacrifice, trying to stay alive. I survived to see my hood gentrified. Used to ride down to Dudley at 5:45, read the news, wipe the gold from my eye. I used to wonder what I could be since was Ivy League, and my bro wasn't rolled in the streets. Trying to honor roll, my friends knocked off like dominoes. A father knows it's the agony in defeat. What is hope when you're a statistic? I was told you could dream if you listen. Every summer another person went missing. Could have been in the grave to serve the sentence. If Malcolm in the streets and his name on them, then I know I could do my thing on them. And as long as sun shines on me every morning, I can give the world a fair warning. So don't push me, cause I'm close to the, I'm trying. lose my head. We was two kids looking for a Tanya, failing class, selling marijuana. We was two kids escaping life through this music. We was two kids looking for a Tanya, failing class, selling marijuana. We was two kids escaping life through this music.
You know, we talk about these relief packages and we talk about distributing resources in a way that's fair and that's equitable. But I think people struggle with understanding the need because they haven't heard or they're not a part of communities that struggle and that are in need. Sometimes they don't reach communities like the ones that we're standing next to here in CV Circle because, you know, in many ways, it's been a forgotten community.
How do we get people to understand that the hood isn't a place to escape, it's a place to grow?
Right.
And so how do we, you know, get people to come back?
But I think as a group, if we stick together and still fight for these people and they see that, hey, this group didn't disappear. They didn't just come and now they're gone. If we stick to this, we could do it.
Yeah.
For the residents to come out and say, hey, these people are serious and they're not just here to do it for a little bit, get us hyped up, and then they disappear. Where did they go? You cannot, once you start something, you have to stick it all the way through, and the sacrifices we gotta make to do this for these people.
And so I teach our young people that you are your brother's keeper. You are responsible for your brothers and your sisters. Not just the ones in your household, but the ones that walk to school with you, the ones that have lunch with you, the ones that did PE class with you.
There is another side to Sacramento. This conscious community that exists here in Sacramento that is equally as gangster when they show up in their resilience and in their bravery and their ability to speak truth to power. There are hip hop heads who, you know, now sit on our school boards. They're running for office. So when you think about hip hop, I want you to think about its power and its ability to impact change in our communities and for individuals. It really is a transformative tool, and we must include it as part of our process.
It's a very hip-hop approach, you know. I think about how hip-hop was kind of born out of this legacy of just the struggle, and it was a response to these conditions, right? Even the first hip-hop party was because there was a girl who didn't have money for school clothes, right. So it was a fundraiser to help support that, and the community came out to support that effort and that movement. I think that, you know, hip-hop artists need to take, you know, more of a leadership role because there's a lot that we can do and we can organize people. Right. So, you know, I'm glad to kind of lend whatever I can to this effort and to this cause because I truly believe that's important.
I've been here in New Hampshire from '79. Did half of my life there, and I'm gonna finish it here in CV Circle if I have to do it to the last of my breath to fight for what I feel is right, and I know we can make the change. And we need to because our kids are looking at us. They need it. You know what I'm saying? Right now, they don't have that. So we're gonna have to make that sacrifice to fight because I live here too. My grandkids, they get a use out of me being here by going to the school or me watching them while their parents go to work. So yeah, me fighting for this is just not for me and my kids. When I say my kids, I'm talking about all the kids. They're all my kids, just like they were taught to kids. Now they're my kids, you know, so we got to fight for our kids.
Let me take it to the other side. When winter ain't marking me, my A and scholars me. Streets a minute from calling me. Where Izzy and projects be? My older brother try to holler at Yachty. Puerto Rican with a little body. He was a player, I was a player. Mac in the hoop, everyone somebody. I went to school, I knew the rules. Port 44, that was the crew. Cutting teeth and paying dues. I paid attention and made some moves. Made some money and made some tools. Straight out of hell. Bad business for product sales. I was proud to sell. Mama still tripping, the power's real. Off those powder sales, loud as hell. Hey, sticky with the bomb as well. Dimes fine as hell. Only time will tell. Too smart for the hood niggas. Too black for the white folk. Two of me wherever I go. 4 eyes, never mind close. I know. Coast became the squad. fighting even the odds. I might be in the sky, such a might save my life. I was pleading with God, seeing the signs, believing the lies, leading with guys behind the facade. Now I'm leading with God, leading my God, marrying my everything, gave it a wedding ring and a surprise. Rising now, should be about 5, tears in the eyes. Don't you'll never see what I did. Life my choice is what I wish. Dream bigger than your daddy did. So at 26, when you have to live in a career, I'll just be happy to be here with Kendall MIT. Kendall MIT. Kendall MIT. Kendall MIT. Kendall MIT. Kendall MIT. Hey. 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 Shit was hard, passed everything with my mom from 2000 and beyond. Took that home a hill, my alcohol on the arm, went through the storm. Watch it hurt that we can't erase, forgive our mistakes and mistakes. We fought and ended up this way, always giving my love to this day. Second city made me a man, respect I had to go earn it. Discipline, cause the shit we ain't gon' happen like we don't deserve it. Don't need to be perfect to walk in my purpose, see it deep in the surface. Preach a light in the sermon, teach it like you worthless. Living 2 lives couldn't fuck with me. East side was not pretty, train was only $1.50. Chief of police want suck titty on the job, beat the brakes of a dirty cop. Once in the eye, call him Petty Pop. Peace now, back then was not. As my bros was killing pops. Time to stop, it was time to stop. Swinging my fist when I was riding now, I would ride a lot. Those were lost pages, find myself on lost cases. Lost women with lost faith, I was lost too. Was in the club, at the bar, at 16, no law school. Shoot my shot, get shot at. Boxed in and you bounce back. Bust my rides to every school I applied for, how about that? Summer of 02, 03, if you really know me, I could have been on either side of the underside. I was undecided. Hey, Kendall MIT.
I needed something more.
Kendall MIT. Kendall MIT. Kendall MIT. Kendall MIT. Kendall MIT.
And we come a long way.
Kendall MIT. Kendall MIT. Kendall MIT.
My God.
It's a miracle.
My God.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Man, it's been so beautiful. Thank y'all so much for coming to Wonderland with me. I want to give it up to the band and for all the people who are making this happen. So give it up for Darius on the guitar. Give it up for Sam on the bass.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Give it up to Courtney on the drums.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
I want you to give it up for Jeffrey on the keys.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Now give it up for Keisha on the vocals.
It's a miracle.
Please give it up for Alicia, also on the vocals. It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
For Mr. Paul Willis, who brought us all the way.
Put up, rapper shit.
It's a miracle.
Hey. And you see Patty working the sound.
It's a miracle.
For Daniel behind the lens.
It's a miracle.
Mango Media. So dope. Give it up to Low End Theory Collaborative, Roy Machado, Adam Freeze for this amazing, amazing venue.
It's a miracle.
Give it up to my fiance and soon-to-be wife, Maribel. Without you, this is not possible. You know what I'm saying? It's real. It's real. You just got to be completely honest with people. About the people who support you in your life. The fact that you made it here is a miracle.
It's a miracle.
Thank y'all so much. Shout out to the Black Artist Fund for making this possible. DBA Arts, thank you so much. Councilmember Steve Hansen.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, we right here.
It's a miracle.
Let's bring it home.